what's good? You know what it is, bro. About to go ahead and get with SP. We about to get this Knicks Real Talk pregame popping off. Get this shit popping, man. I'll holla at you. One.
Up in the black Silverado, stop and get some petrol to hit the metro on full throttle. Across the gospels, we in that Mecca bottleneck. On 32nd, word is bottle, see Sharon flexing. Posted up like sticky note. You can smell the icky in the air like hickory smoke. Carotene, we well represented. We on that Nick shit. You can smell it, so please don't step in it. Cause the burner cooking with gas. The cat in the alley digging through your team trash. Getting that cash ready for DoorDash and make a splash. But they moving slow before the pregame show. No caps, so here's what's on tap. But God, no talking five. And report, keep my boo in the chat. Interacting with your mandem. It's a brand in front of the camera. There's a picture. Catch and snap back to fit the cat. So we Nick dripping. They feel, you know, we fit the description. It's the OG, Olan, Ananobi. Me and my man Brody, we run your fire TV, that's Cody.
It's Knicks Real Talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick drip, dripping and Nick drip. It's Knicks Real Talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick drip, dripping and Nick drip. We in that Nick drip, dripping and Nick drip. It's Knicks Real Talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick drip, dripping and Nick drip. Real talk.
Yo, salute everybody. What's good? What's good, man? We in the building. It's the pregame show. Divine Shot Power, Knicks and Chicago Bulls at the United Center tonight, man. We're going to go there and talk about that thing, get it popping. We're also going to do a recap, a little bit of the recap tonight about the game for last night when the Knicks lost 117 and 107 and all that good stuff, man. But let me bring my partner in crime in the building before we get this thing popping. Shot Power, what's good, my man?
That's why I got the post-game outfit on when we just do the post. Usually when I do the pre, I try to have you know, the gear on and stuff, but that's my bag. Salute to you as always. Salute to the family in the chat. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Yo, salute to the chat, man. Andai, what's good? Giles G, my man, what's good? Nostalgic, Jay Choden. Salute to my man, Johnny Davis, everybody. Listen, man, Nick's going out here. And John McDonald, Mr. Tito's, what's popping, my brother? Salute, salute, salute. But yeah, Chop Howard, we got to go to game tonight, back-to-back, Chicago United Center. Got to go in here and start over again, you know what I mean? After coming off a pretty good nine-game winning streak and everything, obviously winning the OKC last night and lost the game. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But other than that, man, Nick's still doing good at where they at. In the last 10 games, they 9-1, you know, and they lost against a pretty good team last night. You know, not a pretty good team, a very good team, let me say, last night. So can't take nothing away from them guys, man. A tale of two halves in that game last night. Nick started out blazing 66 points in the first half. In the second half, they only scored 40-something, and them guys did the opposite. They scored 54 in the first half with 60-something, 63 in the second half. So they came out in the second half and did what they had to do, man. I looked it good for us in that first half. I was like, man, these boys is on something in New York. But you know what? Those guys, they're a bona fide championship contender team. And then they let you know that, you know, they could turn it up anytime. And obviously they did. But I like the way the game went. I wasn't mad. It ain't really no moral victory thing for me. But I did like the way we competed last night up until them last 12 minutes of the game. You know, and all that good stuff. But other than that, it is what it is. We move on to the next one and all that good stuff. But, you know, I really want that game bad. But I'm happy with what I've seen from a number standpoint, except for obviously our total numbers and three-point percentage and charity strike percentage. But other than that, I mean, they did what they had to do. They played hard, and SGA and Williams just wanted more, man, in that second half. And their bench was just phenomenal. And I don't care who we would have put in there. You wasn't doing nothing against their bench. Their bench scored 40-something points. They were just killing it out there, man. And they were aggressive, and we just couldn't do nothing with it, man. It's a night like that. You wish you had Deuce McBride. And I say he would have made it. We would have won the game with him, but it made a difference with him in there. I believe also with his defense, his pressure on the ball and stuff like that. So we took the game. We took an L. Now we 24-11. We still third in the Eastern Conference. We still looking good. 13-7 on the road, man. But what's your thoughts on that game last night? I know you probably talked about it earlier today, man. But give me some of your thoughts on that game, man, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it was a couple of things that, you know, since I talked earlier and thought about it and watched the game again, it was a couple of things that we could have did different. But, you know, overall, you can't doubt what Tom Thibodeau did last night and how he played his players. Of course, as a Knicks fan, I wanted to see other players to help out the starting unit. but we have won with Tibbs playing basketball like this. We are 24-11. We have won games just the way Tom Thibodeau plays, and we in essence, the second unit, and we could have used Deuce last night. A couple of 14 points from Deuce last night changed the perspective of how the game went. 14 points, we win by 3. You know what I mean? So that's how I take into it. Right now, for me, this month is all about the second unit and what they're going to do, if they're going to try to strengthen the second unit, if they're going to try to if we still have the players Champagne, Shamif Payne, Deuce, and Precious still haven't played a solid 5 games all season yet. Shamif just came on. Deuce is hurt now. Precious was out. So, they all haven't been on the court for a significant amount of games yet. So that's something to look hopeful for, because we could have used them last night. And like we talked in the background, we could have used a little bit more Precious last night. I don't know why Tibbs didn't, you know what I mean? And it looked at the lineup out there when he was out there with Cat looked at kind of commanding. So it was a couple of variables that we could talk about, but overall we played a good game, man. This is the first time we played this team this year. This team has been together 3-4 years already. And I mean, our team is just 35 games into this season. And we really went up. We lost by 10, but we were down by 3 with 2 minutes left. So we played well. We just didn't. This is a game like last year that we could depended on DiVincenzo and maybe if Randall was on the team and stuff like that for us to get over the hump, do different things and hit big shots. We haven't got that. We do have that animal, but certain games we just can't figure it out. And talking about it earlier today could be the time on the court.
Yeah, real talk. It's a couple of things for me, man. And man, I never shy away from the truth and all that good stuff. Only thing I can say last night is 2 main factors to me. Campaign had a terrible game, ladies and gentlemen.
Facts.
Campaign had a terrible game. I mean, I literally watched when he came in. He seemed like he was hesitant to pull the trigger on his shots. I get it. They got to get their defense credit. That's why they're the number 1 defense in the league, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not also make this thing bigger than what it is. That's the number 1 defense team in the league. They play good defense. They get up in you. They do, like I was saying on the pregame show, they play defense like the Orlando Magic, but with a more prolific offense. You know what I mean? And that's how they get down. But Campaign had a tough game. Even when I was like, dude is not even aggressive at all. He took 1 shot. You know what I mean? No assists, no nothing. So I do, and when I spoke about the Brunson situation, ladies and gentlemen, everybody has bad games. But I did not like the way Brunson commanded that team in that last quarter. I think he tried to bail him out by himself. That means Cat wasn't getting no looks. Anunoby wasn't getting no looks. And even McKeldin wasn't getting no looks because, listen, Jalen Brunson went 9 for 23, 0 for 5 from downtown. I ain't sugarcoating this right here. He had 9 assists, but he went 9 for 23. And I think in that last quarter with about the last 5 minutes, I'm talking about the last 5 minutes, Jalen Brunson was straight ISO. I understand he's the captain. He want to put the team on his back. I get it. I have no problem with it, but that's not what got us here this year. So let's be fair about it. It happens. Things happen. It's all good. Ain't no darts at Jalen Brunson for who he is overall. But just that particular game, I thought he didn't have a good game in 40 minutes, 9 for 23, 0 for 5 from downtown. Everybody shot poorly from downtown. McHale was 4 for 11 pretty much, and except for Anunoby. He was 3 for 7. He had a hell of a game last night. I thought Anunoby played an awesome game last night. They all played a good game. I thought Brunson just, to me, was off from a field goal shooting percentage. And I just thinking of in the last quarter, he pretty much had a lot of ball domination. I'm not saying he was selfish, but he dominated the hell out of that basketball in that last quarter the other day, man. So I thought I didn't have a problem with what what he was doing. I just thought that we could have. Because their defense was so good, we should kind of pass that ball, that rock around the perimeter a little bit and then see if they could have gotten to it. But it is what it is. In one game, you play a defense like that, you got to give them their flowers, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't nothing but you got to give the number 1 and number 2 team in the NBA their flowers. That team is legitimately contenders. They are. You know what I mean? And it showed and approved last night. So it is what it is. But I do think their bench scored a lot of points last night, man. And we'll throw that up in a second on a recap. And their bench was going hard. I mean, Kendrick Williams was going hard. He was like bully balling from that spot down there, man. And I think that aggression really made a big thing. But obviously, Aaron Wiggins did what he had to do. So, you know, you got to give him the credit, man. 19 points off the bench, and he don't even score like that. But, you know, when you're not playing your best defense basketball game, then that's what happens. Sometimes you let people get in there and start acting like they all world beaters. The crowd was behind them. SGA did what he did. And I thought we held Jalen Williams down pretty good in that first half. I thought Anunoby had Jalen Williams in a clutch in that first half. But obviously, he came out when he got that thunder with that dunk that just turned the whole momentum around to me, Shaw Powers. So salute to them guys. When they beat us last night in Fan Square, we'll see them next week in the Garden. Salute to our team, though, for coming out there just battling. I just think they didn't have enough to overcome the depth that they had. Even if you would have put Kolick in there, Jericho Sims in there, they wasn't stopping them dudes. They wasn't stopping them dudes. Them dudes go too hard. I mean, because they don't play defense like that anyway. So I think it wasn't about too much of that. I just think overall we got beat, Shop Howard. That's what it comes down to me.
Yeah, that's it in a nutshell. You know what I mean? We went out there, we played good basketball. You know what I mean? We just couldn't finish. You know what I mean? We played good basketball, you know, the first three quarters. You know what I mean? Even in the third quarter, when they start taking that end of the quarter, the end of the third was, you know, they did some things in the end of the third that projected them into the fourth quarter, and they started chipping away. You know what I mean? They kept chipping away. They chipped away at the end of the third, all the way into the fourth quarter. It was a good game, a learning experience. I don't think we'll see the offense look like that the next time we play them, and that just give us enough reason to put us on the revenge board. You know what I mean? That's all that is. That we put them on the revenge board, and the best thing about that, we get to see them soon. And they won't have the same accolades that they had last game with having their 6-man. Their crowd was raucous. But remember this, their crowd was loud in the fourth quarter, but not 1, 2, and 3 quarters. Them guys was quiet over there. They were quiet. Mm-hmm. But they got their team. They got their fans amped, and they gave them a little bit of incentive and adrenaline to help them get over the hump. Let's see if we can do that again when we play them next Friday.
Yeah, real talk, man. For me, like I said, Brunson, it wasn't about Brunson at all having a negative game. I just thought that last 5 minutes, that's all I'm really putting on. I thought that when we needed to screw the ball around, ladies and gentlemen, because we need to move the ball in that last 5 minutes of the game. That's my only issue with Brunson. Like he said, he had 9 assists. He didn't shoot well, but he had that team going in the first half. That's why I said, well, the tale of two halves. You know what I mean? He was dropping crazy dimes in that first half. But in that last quarter, he didn't do what he did in that first half. Ladies and gentlemen, he scored 66 points in the first half because they were distributing that basketball. You know what I mean? But like I said, that last 5 minutes, I thought we got a little stagnant. And it happens when you go up against somebody like another superstar on the other side of the court, on the other side of the ball. Obviously, you're going to go, if he's getting down, you're only going to get down too. If he can lead his team, you're going to want to lead your team. So I get it. It's not a bad thing. It's just that I think with the way the game was going, we needed that distribution a little bit more in the last 5 minutes. That's all I'm talking about, really, with that. So it is what it is. Great game though. Overall, we was putting it on them dudes, man. And like I said, a championship team always going to come out and make adjustments. That's what they do. A championship team gonna make adjustments. Coach gonna go in there and say, y'all not doing this, you're not doing that, you need to do this, you need to do that. And that's the reason why they are who they are. That's why they're 29-5. Because they're a damn good team, and they coach is a damn good coach. So it ain't no big deal. It is what it is. We just gotta get our depth a little bit more deep in our bench. Because like I said, it really wasn't nothing but other than shot power that we don't have the depth that they have. Them cats can go 10 deep, 11 deep. We can go. Anybody can go deep, but are you going deep with a high quality of talent? You know what I mean? Of course, we can put in 9, 10 guys, but if they gonna do what the other 9, 10 guys on the other side of the court doing, to me personally, no, because that's been Achilles' heel all year, and people don't get it. The reason why it's hard to play our bench because our bench is the last in the league and doing a lot of stuff. They are. So even if you put Jacob Top in there, you put Tyler Cole in there for a few minutes, that don't mean that they're going to help the Knicks out. They might make it worse. Because if you look at the numbers, our bench is right now trending at one of the worst benches from a scoring standpoint in the league. So even if you put them in there, that's not guaranteed that's going to help the Knicks win the game. You know what I mean? Because listen, do you think Tyler Kohler got the energy and I think they helped them guys relieve him from far as, if anything, just stamina standpoint, being tired. That's the only thing you could say about why you want Tibbs to play these other guys. I think Kohler can help run the offense, but against that team, they was pretty strong and big. You know what I mean? And I would have loved to see him in there. I wanted to see him in there last night, but for some reason, Tibbs felt like that them guys wasn't going to make a difference in that game because campaign damn sure didn't make a difference. Landon Shaman only one had plus minus shot power in a plus. I thought he had a good game overall because it wasn't about the scoring. I think when he was in there, he was playing some good defense, and then the second half they didn't put him in there. So the good thing out of all this, though, I'm happy that OG Anunoby is not hurt seriously. That's what I'm happy about. That hit that fall he had was pretty rough, but now you see why you try to stay in shape and put your muscles on your body, man. And he said he had a little sting, but then it went away. You know what I mean? But I'm glad he okay because that could have been worse than anything. You know what I mean? And it worked out where he didn't get hurt. But let's look at the box scores like quick, ladies and gentlemen, because sometimes the things we talk about don't mean nothing until you look at what's on the box score and all that good stuff, and determine what went on with this thing right here. Shot powers to me, you look at the box score 107, 117. Like I said, we scored well in the first, we scored well in the second, and the last two quarters we didn't score at all. We only scored 22 and 19. But in the first two quarters, we scored 30 and 36. For them, they scored 33 in the first quarter. We had a good defense second quarter. We had a good defense third quarter. But that last quarter, they scored 37 points. They got that momentum going. Shot powers off the energy. They came out in the second half, started popping right out the door. You know what I mean? They came out the second half right out the gate, started knocking down threes. And I see the energy starting to shift. And then when Jalen Williams hit that dunk, I was like, okay, this thing gonna go the other way because the momentum we had picked up, the crowd had got into it. They fed off the energy of the crowd and everything. So that came out to. But other than that, man, we gave up 117. We know we want to be better than that on the defense side of the ball. We averaged that around 117, whatever, 119. But we gave up what we normally average on our own offense. So I think we kind of wish the numbers would flip the other way because I had 115, 105. You know what I mean? I haven't had a number that went the opposite way though, so it was kind of crazy. But Mikal Bridges, 41 minutes, his normal minutes. He had a good game overall. 10 for 9. He didn't shoot well from downtown. He missed 7. Nobody shot well except for Anunoby. But he had 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, minus 10 though. You know what I mean? Anunoby, 43 minutes. He had probably the best percentage game out of everybody. Him and Town. I would say him actually. 7 for 13, 3 for 7, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. He was a minus 12, 20 points. Town did it again, 22 rebounds, man. Oh my goodness, man. 17 points. But I thought they did a good job of taking him off that 3-point line. I think Jalen Williams and them did a good job of getting out there. Like I said, you got to give them guys credit, ladies and gentlemen. Their defense came to play a certain way in that second half, and I noticed that when Towns was out there, they started the game where they put Jalen Williams on him and put Ihart on Josh Hart. And Jalen Williams got a lower center of gravity, got under him. He more faster than Ihart is. And I think that's going to show you how good that coach is to do that. To say, I'm going to put Jalen Williams on him because he's a stout defender, and I'm going to put my man on, and it worked out for their favor in that second half. So, but anyway, Townsend had no 3-point shots. He shot well from the floor. Like I said, 18, 4 assists, 3 steals. And he had 17. Jalen Brunson, 40 minutes, 9 for 23, ladies and gentlemen. 0 from 5 from downtown, ladies and gentlemen. That's just not the Jalen Brunson we used to. But he did dish out 9 dimes last night. 1 steal. He was a minus 3, 22 points. But it was a tough 22 points. But like I said, the first half and the second half are 2 different stories. But, that's only one game. We can't get mad at that because we know who Jalen Brunson is. He'll come back and respond very well eventually. Josh Hart, 8 for 15, 2 for 7, 44 minutes, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Not the Josh Hart game we used to, but still overall, he had 19 points. The starters scored like 102 points, man. That bench only scored 5 points. Obviously, Pressure Chua, 8 minutes. He had 1 field goal, 5 rebounds. Though I'm loving to see he always crashing the board. He had 3 points. And Campaign, ladies and gentlemen, to me was probably the most disappointing game I've seen this year since he's been in Knicks, and it happened. Ain't nobody perfect. I thought he would have a little more energy, Chop out, knowing that he got drafted by these guys, like I was telling you earlier, and he wanted to go out to OKC and just get down, but he just didn't have it, man. He really only shot 1 shot, and that's what I mean by he had a bad game. He wasn't even. He seemed like he wasn't attempted to take shots to open up the defense, open up their defense. And that's why I was kind of disappointed that Campaign didn't. At least if Campaign shoot a 3-ball, him at there, that means that they can't double team them other guys down low. They can't let their guards fall back and double team Cat in them. And I just thought that he didn't get that done last night, man. So I was a little disappointed. But other than that, shit happens though. Shaman, I think, had the best all around game to me. The reason why 14 minutes, he had one of the field goals, but 2 assists, 1 steal. But his defense was spectacular though. I love the way that young man playing defense for not young man, older young man. But he played some good defense last night, man. Shot power. We shot 47% from the floor, but the 3-point line 9 for 32. That's where the game was lost to me. And the charity strike, we only shot 7%. I think them 2 areas right there is where the Knicks really lost the game at. It really wasn't nothing other than that to me, man. Them numbers just was crazy. But them guys, they to show you what I mean, look what they did. They shot 51 from the floor, 51 from downtown, 51 from downtown, and 81 from the charity strike. That's the game right there, ladies and gentlemen. Look at our 3-point numbers and foul tech numbers. Look at their 3-point numbers and their foul tech numbers. That's the game. It really wasn't about nothing else. Them cats shot the ball well, and we didn't. You know what I mean? And usually we would find a way to win games without shooting the 3-ball well, but you can't do that against a team like this, Shot Powers. I just think they a little bit too prolific for that. So that, to me, in a nutshell, that's what it all came down to. But, we live to fight another day, man. That's all. Let's get it. Go ahead, Chicago Knights. See if we can get back out some winning ways. You're not going to win every one, but I know we came out there and we put in a good effort, man. We really did. Just that them cats is good, and that's what it boiled down to.
Yeah, that's the bottom line right there, man. They came out and they played some good basketball. And kudos to them because they made it hard for Payne to want to shoot a shot. Every time Payne had the ball, it was somebody right up on him. Tight defense on him. And after the third quarter, tight defense on Mikal Bridges. Tighter defense on what they were doing against OG Anunoby. If you didn't notice how they played tighter defense, the block where it was like 3 guys around OG and 3 guys converged and blocked the shot. They play good defense, and their team is similar to what we do too. We grab a rebound, we push it out to the wing, the ball doesn't touch the ground, we push it to the middle, and the guy goes down and scores the basket. If he cannot score the basket, he brings it back out, waits for the trailer to shoot the 3-point shot. They do a lot of things that we do, and we just didn't, our 3-point shooting in the last couple of games has not been as efficient as it has been early in the season, but it'll get better. We're still working ourselves out, and we still have players that are. Jalen Brunson's not 100% right now. He came out last night, and where he did do good, I believe, is he came out in the first 3 quarters and got the ball to other people. If I'm not mistaken, he had three assists in each quarter. And that means he's moving the ball. And the reason why we're talking about Jalen Brunson, doing so much ISO, everybody else is locked down. And that fourth quarter with 5-6 minutes left, they changed the way they played defense on everybody. They played up front defense on OG Anunoby. He didn't shoot no more 3-pointers out of that. Mikal shot maybe 1 more 3-pointer after that. And Brunson didn't shoot. How many 3-pointers did he shoot after that? So Cat didn't shoot any. So they played a different style of defense against our Knicks, and we'll know better the next time we play them. The takeaway from this game for me is just a little bit more production from our bench, and that's my thing for this whole month: the production from the bench, and we see what can happen with production from the bench, i.e., what they scored last night, 47 points from their bench.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Aaron Wiggins was the whole thing to that game. I think that guy had a game of his life probably last night. You know what? But like Shot Power, when you just heard everything Shot Power said, that's the meaning when you got good coaches. They make the adjustments. They go in the second, they go in the locker room and say, you know what? These cats just threw up 66 on us. What do we need to do to limit that? And they come out in the second half, they make their adjustments. They do what Shot Power say, take away the 3-point shot. Play this guy different, use this scheme different, and that's what you're supposed to do. That's the reason why they 29-5, ladies and gentlemen. Not only they got good talent, they got a good coach, and he know how to coach. And and we got we 11-24-11 because we got a good coach, and we got good players too. But on that night last night, the better team won last night, ladies and gentlemen. That's the bottom line. The better team won last night. Ain't another way you could put it, at least for that night. You know what I mean? And And hopefully, hopefully we learn something from that game and we take it into the game tonight or take it into the next time we see them, whatever. I mean, like, we ain't going undefeated. I'd rather lose to a team like that than just lose any game without even trying. Them cats had it going, man, in that second half. Ain't nothing you could do. What we did in the first half, they did to us in the second half. Flipped it. That's all they did, Shop Power. They flipped it. We was gang busting the dudes in that first half. So you know what? Then they came out in the second half, they gang busted us, and they flipped it. And so kudos to them. Like I said, look at their numbers. Their numbers was phenomenal. 51, and 81 splits. That's crazy. You know what I mean? So that means that, we wasn't getting around screens enough, or we wasn't doing something right. You know what I mean? We hung in there, and we had a good defense third quarter too. They only scored 26 in the third quarter, but we only scored 22. You know what I'm saying? But that fourth quarter, they scored 37. We scored 19. That's the ball game right there. Salute to them guys. We see y'all next week in Madison Square Garden. Good game, great game. That was must watch TV last night, ladies and gentlemen. Must watch TV last night. You learned a lot of stuff, and you can see why that team is where they are. And you can see why we are. We just didn't have enough depth last night, and I don't think who you would have put in that game last night in that second quarter wouldn't have made a difference. I don't care who you put in there. If you got your best five in there, and even if you take them out and put somebody else in there, do you think they were going to do with your best five there? I don't think so. Other than the stamina thing, if you want to say the stamina was the reason, that's a different story. But I don't care who you put in that game last night, they wasn't beating them dudes in that second half. Because our best guys, Ananobi and them couldn't do too much with them guys in that second half, the way they was knocking that shit down. So what difference to make you to put anybody in there? If you think Jericho Sims and all these guys did a better job than Ananobi, McHale, and all them from a defense standpoint, an offense standpoint, I don't think so. I just think them cats, they blitzed us in that second half, and that's it. But anyway, man, we live to fight another day, ladies and gentlemen. It is. We go in Chicago, man, and we get it popping in a few minutes. We just got to go in there, Shop Power, and to get that one out of our mind. I'm going in Chicago, try to win a game. Brian, thank you for the super chat again, my man. Appreciate you, man. Real talk. We already know. We really appreciate that, man, for sure. But and salute everybody in the chat, man. We just trying to get it done, man. So we kind of late in coming in the game tonight. But salute to Jal G, Andai, salute to you, my man. NYC, B-Ball, JJ, 47K, salute, my man. Sorry about that. Once Nick, always Nick, salute to you. Nick 100 GM, Gunsmoke. Everybody, man, salute to the chat. E. Gibb, Johnny Davis, Queen Darlene is in the building as well. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Thank y'all for coming in, man. Real talk. Salute to my man Ron. You already know, still Nick fan. Ron had a great show earlier today, man. Y'all was in there chopping it up as well. I'm quite sure y'all got a lot of insight this morning, man. Him and Shaw Powers, and I think Nice was on there, and I think it was Jay Choden. No, was it Jay Choden? Not Jay. Who else was on there? Jay Choden was on there. Okay, I did see G Money when I popped in, but I was busy out here on my grind, man. So but yeah, they had a good show this morning. I'm quite sure they covered a lot of stuff we talked about as well, and much more. Salute to you guys, man, and salute to my man Ron. But yeah, Shaw Powers tonight. We get ready to go into the United Center, man, and try to get back on, get on the winning tip. You know what I mean? Hopefully we can get that game past us and try to start a new victory, man, a new winning streak, man. But right now, so far in the month of in the year 2025, we 1-1. Did we win a game? Yeah, we 1-1 in 2025. It seems like. So we just got to and we got a pretty tough schedule coming up. So we just got to get back at this tonight. It starts tonight, man. Go ahead and try to win this game, make up for that loss last night, and keep it moving.
Yeah, that's basically it. Tonight's game, man. This is not a team that you take lightly. You know what I mean? This team is 10th in the East right now. You know what I mean? They're on the borderline of being in the play-in right now. You know what I mean? And they have some good quality players on their team. You know what I mean? They're just not clicking. They lost a couple of players, but they got some good players on their team. So this is not a game to take lightly. You know what I mean? And the one big thing is to see what we can do against this team. This is one of our revenge games. You know what I mean? This team beat us by 1 point. You know what I mean? When Cat had a phenomenal game, and they beat us by 1 point. If I'm not mistaken, that's the game Cat stayed on the court and started shooting free throws, because I think he missed 4 or 5 free throws that game. Mm-hmm. So this is one of those games that they have to get up to, and I hope we see a different style of rotation tonight. You know what I mean? Hopefully Payne will be a little better. I'm not sure if Deuce is going to be in the game. I think he's probably still a game time decision. So we may need to see a Tyler Kolek tonight. We may need to see someone else off the bench to help out, you know what I mean, just to facilitate some minutes for the starting unit.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully, especially coming off a back-to-back, and that's why I can understand with how bad he wanted to win that game yesterday. Like I could play these other guys tomorrow when I really need them coming off a back-to-back, but like tonight we need our horses in there, and it is what it is. So if you want to give Tibbs a bad grade for not playing the full team, that's fine. I ain't got no problem with that either. You know what I mean? But I also know that when you put whatever you put in there, you better make sure they're better than what's already in there. Because like I said, I don't know if it was a stamina thing. I just think them cats came out and played the ball they've been playing all year in the second half. But anyway, tonight in Chicago, we just got to go out there and put all this stuff behind us, man, and win another game. We're gonna lose some more games, ladies and gentlemen. This ain't the end of the world. We're gonna lose some more games this year. We ain't going like win 80 games. We ain't winning 70 games. We ain't gonna win 65. But I still think we're gonna win the amount that I hope we win. So, we just gotta let this game just be a game on the schedule. It just was an important game from a measure stick standpoint. And I think we measured up well. I think we measured up under the circumstances last night. We're not having the depth that we needed. So it's just another game on the schedule. It was a hype game because we playing the best team in the league, one of the top 2 teams in the league. So obviously it's gonna add throw Boston in there. Obviously it's gonna be a hype game, but and they did what they had to do on their home court. They're the number 2 team in the league, or number 1 maybe, depending on the record with them and the Cavaliers, and they beat the number 3 team in the league. It is what it is, you know what I mean? So now tonight we just got to go in there, like Shaw Powers said. You don't take these guys like they got talent, all-stars down there. Vucevic is the all-star. We know what Zach LaVine could do. Kobe White, all these guys can get it popping down there. You know what I mean? So like Shaw Powers said, this might be the night, that we didn't get to see them guys in the first unit last night. I mean, in the second unit last night, you might get to see them tonight. But I let's hope that even if Deuce don't play, I just want to see, because Sham is still continuing getting his burn, and still working out the rush for not playing all year long. But I do like what he's doing. The way he driving the ball, the way he cutting through the lanes, the way he distributing, the way he doing a lot of good things out there, man. It is free flow, and I like to see that. So hopefully he can get out there tonight, man, and do the same thing and everything like that. So, and far as like Shaw Powell, was a thing I'm kind of interested in. Even prior to this game, you don't see a lot of Sims right now. That got me wondering. You know what I mean? Are they protecting him? Yeah, sometimes when you don't play a dude that's close to the trade deadline, sometimes you're trying to protect. I just want to change the conversation, but that could be another reason why you might not be seeing him a lot. People know what he could do. Teams asked about him. So they might be like, no, I don't want to take this chance, this guy getting hurt, and then we can't do it. That's my thought anyway on that. It's possible. But
Iman Shumpert, right?
Exactly. Iman Shumpert. Exactly. That's exactly right, man. I was thinking maybe Tim might be holding that brother out because he might be on the block. You never know. It's just a business, so shit like that happens. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we just got to go in there and put all that stuff behind us. And have some fun, get back to winning. You know what I mean? Losing brings the worst out of everybody. I mean, winning brings the good out of everybody. Losing brings the worst out of everybody, and I get it. That's why I don't got no problem with whoever throws shots. If you want to throw shots, that's fine. I know this team is good. I know they legit. And I think they showed last night, at least for 2 halves, a half, what they really are and what they really could be. I mean, they just got to tighten up a couple of things, man. But we give me a thoughts on this game tonight, man. Interesting matchups and all that stuff, man. We go over the itinerary in a minute, but it could be another game. We just got to go out there and get a pop on, especially tonight. Derrick Rose, jersey retirement night, come be amped up in the United Center tonight. Shaw Powers. So we got to see if we can go in there and shake one.
Yeah, big thing is about energy tonight. And I mean, you gotta, we played a lot of minutes last night. So initially, our Inferno, our Scorched Earth, got to get out there and really put the ball in the basket tonight. And hopefully that we can utilize what we have in the second unit tonight. I don't think Payne is going to have another game like he had last night. I'm hoping he doesn't. I think Shaman is going to start getting some shots. And another thing about the game yesterday, they were putting bodies on Shaman too. He didn't get no shots off because they had somebody on him. Just like Payne, they had somebody on him. Why they didn't get 3-point shots? Because they had somebody on him at all times. So I think tonight could be a difference in the defense from Chicago, that we could get a little bit more open shots, and hopefully we can get to over that 36% from shooting 3-pointers again. I think that'll help us out tonight. Rebounding the basketball always helps. And another thing that we didn't do yesterday, in the first 3 quarters, we got 20 assists. In the fourth quarter, we got 2. So we got to continue to move the ball. You know what I mean? My big objective for this year is for us to stay around 28 assists a game, 27, 28 assists a game. That means that the ball is moving around and people are making shots. And I mean, 27 assists mean that people are making shots. So when you pass it to them, they're making shots. And that increases your field goal percentage, that increases your three-point percentage. So with that being said, that's how I feel about tonight's game. This is not a game to take off or slack off, but I would like to see a little help from our second unit tonight.
Yeah. They got to step up for sure, man. And like I said, these guys, our bench right now is our Achilles heel right now. They just are. You know what I mean? You put it, they are Achilles heel right now, and we got to hope that we can these guys can get it going sooner or later. We missed Deuce McBride last night, and you know, and the good as he been playing this year. But like I said, our bench is pretty much we just gotta get together. That's all. And you know, and when you go against a team like that team, who a championship contender, who probably got a chance to win it all, you know what I mean? That team is lit. They lit. They deep. You know what I mean? So, you know, you get what you get. But like I said, I don't care who we play. You shoot 27% from the three-point area, ladies and gentlemen, 27% from the three-point area, and you shoot 70% from the charity stripe. I don't care who you playing, you might lose a game. Plain and simple. You know, you shoot that many 3 points and you don't hit them, obviously that's gonna, no matter if you play OKC, no matter if you playing anybody, sometime that might rear its ugly head. We was able to get away with it with the lower echelon teams like Washington. We was able to get away with that bad shooting from the 3-point line because them teams is not talented at this team. But you can't shoot bad from the 3-point area, expect to beat a team like this. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's what happened last night. Yeah, you can get away with it with the teams we played prior to OKC. But OKC is not the Washington Wizards. They're not any of them teams. They are the best team in association with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And their talent level is night and day above a lot of these teams. So, hey, shit happens. You know what I mean? We just got to go get a part. Brian, thank you for the super chat again, my man. Brian, appreciate you. We appreciate you, man. Always helping us grow the channel, man. Brian, thank you, man, for the super chat. Always, my man. Appreciate that. Real talk. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Real talk. Everybody in the building, man. Salute to all you guys, ladies and gents. You know, we in here, Mr. Pregame Show. Divine Shot Power, Knicks and Chicago Bulls at the United Center, man. Then go down there and see if they can get a victory back on the belt, and get it going. And I don't care who you play, how you get the win. Get the win. You know, if anybody here want the Knicks to lose this game, you gotta be kidding me. So let's go ahead and get the win. And we didn't beat the team we really wanted to beat last night. It don't mean we won't never beat them. We didn't beat them last night. But let's go ahead tonight and try to get a victory and bounce back and get a W. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about to me. Just go out here and just focus on the next game, one game at a time. We're gonna lose some more games this year, ladies and gentlemen. So let's let that sink in. Say the only game we're gonna lose this year. We'll lose some more. You know what I mean? And that's where it gets down. So right now, Shot Power, even though we lost the game, only Orlando picked up a game on, but they still like 3.5 behind us. So we still good. I just want the game because I know our team was good enough to beat them. I really did. I know we're good enough to beat them. I just thought that we didn't have enough firepower with our bench last night, and we didn't shoot well for the charity stripe and the 3-point line. Kind of turned that team into two halves. So we just got to go out there and get it, man. Because you know, we played for 36 minutes. We ain't played for 48, pretty much. But tonight, different story, man. I'm really excited about this team tonight, man. We just got to go out there and fight and scrap and get it popping. I think it's going to be live in there. Like I said, they're going to be amped up in there. Derrick Rose retirement jersey. And salute to Derrick Rose, ladies and gentlemen. Once a Knick, always a Knick. Salute to Derrick Rose. Once a Knick, always a Knick. You know what I mean? Derrick Rose came here and try to help us get to where we wanted to go sometimes, but unfortunately it didn't work out. But he had something. He helped us in that first round of the playoff the year we got here. When he came over here from Detroit, helped get us to the playoffs. Obviously, we got beat by Atlanta, but 2 years before that, when he was with Kristaps Porzingis and Carmelo Anthony, you know, so you know he always gonna be respected by the Knicks fan base. That's D Rose, man. That's what it is. You know what I mean? So, salute to him. I hope they celebrate him well. But then after that, we go out and kick it behind. So that's what it should be about tonight. Give me your thoughts on that game tonight, Shot Power, and what you feeling with that thing.
Yeah, this is a big night for Derrick Rose, and I'm glad that the Knicks the NBA scheduled it that the Knicks play Chicago on the night that they putting his numbers up and stuff. So that was a good look from the NBA. That was a good look. I don't want to downplay the refereeing last night so much, but I'm starting to see a pattern. You know what I mean? And me and my fandom, in my opinion, almost every time Cat goes down the lane, he should be getting a foul. And he gets abused. You know what I mean? And somewhat Jalen Brunson as well. But no need to cry over spilled milk. I mean, you play the best you can. You don't complain about the calls. But at me as a Knicks fan, I think that too, especially in the last two games. Even though we won one, even in that game was a lot of missed calls. I believe, my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
All right. With that being said, tonight's game is, nothing different than what we've been doing. I mean, and if you want to say that this team is a under 500 team, so be it. So what we should do is beat this team, and I hope that's the mindset of what we do. Just like Tom Thibodeau say just like we say on here, on to the next. And this is the next team in front of us. You know what I mean? On to the next, and this is the team that is the next team up. And we're coming off of a game that we lost, but we're also coming off of 9 games that we won the whole month of December. So let's get back to our winning ways tonight. And I mean, play different defense, put different schemes out there. Hopefully, Tom Thibodeau will put a couple more players out there to, lengthen the minutes lessen the minutes that the starters play out there tonight.
Yeah, real talk. Chop Lows, appreciate you, Chop Low. Supreme System Lord, man. Preach the super chat, Chop, man. Appreciate you, my brother. Real talk, man. You already know how we feel about you, Chop the OG in the building with us, man. Always, man, representing NBK fam all day, every day, 24/7, 365. Stan still. What's the deal, my man? Salute to my man Stan. You know how we do, Stan. Real talk, man. But and everybody else in the chat,
up in the building.
Yeah, salute to everybody, man. I see Tom Sanders in there, Sanders in there. Excuse me, Tom. Salute to you as well. Appreciate you coming in, Tom. Real talk, man. And if y'all haven't subscribed or subscribe to the channel already, hit that button. Don't cost you nothing. We in here, man, all day, every day. But yeah, shout out. I'm looking for these guys to bounce back tonight. Like I said, it's a shame because we really want that win last night, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let's not get it twisted. Well, in that second half, I had text Shop out real quick. And this is the proof why this game is not that important to me. Shop out, when I text you, what did I say? I seen enough. Remember, I text Shaw Powers in the second half, in the second quarter. I said, Shaw Powers, no matter what happened in this game, I seen enough. I seen what the Knicks can do. With that team. I seen what they could do. Though they lost the game, I seen what they could do. I was like, okay. And if they could throw this up against these dudes in 2 quarters, obviously the game in 48 minutes, not 24, but still to let me know when they had it going, and they were doing this without the 3 ball. I mean, they put up 66 points in that first half without the 3 ball, but obviously that had a lot to do with OKC playing the back-to-back too, and coming out a little rusty because they just played the other night. So like I said, not taking nothing away from anything, but I was happy to see what I seen that first half. I'm like, okay, Anunoby got it going. The Knicks starters, Shop Powell said something, ladies and gentlemen, before I don't want to get off the subject. Shop Powell that he wanted to see all the Knicks starters score 20. Well, they damn near did it. The only person that had under 20 was 17 by Cat and 19 from Josh Hart. And when Shop Powell do hit the real head on head anyway. But tonight gonna be a special one, man. Let's get here and get it popping, man, and look at the numbers and everything like that, and see what's going on with this game tonight. Shop Powell. It should be a fun game no matter what. And we get to it, man. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Obviously, the Bulls and the Knicks tonight at the United Center. Derrick Rose retirement jersey night. Let's get that thing popping. Gonna be fun up in there tonight. I know they're gonna get it popping. Coming off of last night, ladies and gentlemen, they didn't change it, so it really don't make no sense to put that up. But anyway, we 24-11. I don't think our defense took a bad return last night. It might take a tick down a point or whatever. But anyway, we 13-7 on the road, ladies and gentlemen, instead of 13-6. So I guess they didn't update this thing. They might do it sooner or later. I get back to it. I'm gonna go out and come back in because they might update it by time. I go in there, ladies and gentlemen. So I apologize for that. That situation right there. Hate to be stagnant on the show. But yeah, Shop Powell, I get back at it.
Yeah, that's not us.
Yeah. I'll get back at it. They didn't update it, so it is what it is. But yeah, man, I'm excited about the game tonight, man. I just want to go out and see a rebound, and get back at it. Shop Powell, win the game, and try to get a win back under your belt. I don't care who you play. Like I said, I don't care if we didn't beat them. But we got to beat these guys tonight. We don't want to lose everybody. So yeah, even if they didn't beat the team we wanted to beat, but you got to beat these guys. You know what I mean? We got to go out there and beat. We owe them one. This is a revenge tour. Me and Shop Powell got the revenge tour going on. This is the second game of the revenge tour. We beat the Utah Jazz for the first one. Now in 2025, we play these guys again. We got to beat them tonight. Get that game back. No matter they might not be high as up, but they got talent though. Zach LaVine, that we wanted him on the Knicks. He a talented dude. You know what I mean? Shit, we got Vucevic down there. You got Kobe White, like I said. You got Patrick Williams. I mean, you got cats down there who can play basketball. You got Josh Giddey and all them. Some of these teams, shot powers to me, though they might not be over 500 teams, but that don't mean they are not a 500 talent. You know what I mean? It's a lot of reasons why you might have a talent, but you might don't have a winning mentality within that talent. And I think
especially right now, they could end up being 500. I can see them end up being 500 team.
Facts. Yep, absolutely. And I think that's what it is with them. They just a 500 team. They just not playing 500 b-ball right now. They 15-19, ladies and gentlemen. So they ain't far off from there. So you can't sleep on these guys tonight. Go in there and open up a can of and get it done, man. And try to beat these guys, man. Because right now we just want to have a good bounce back, win shot powers, and that's what I'm looking for tonight. Looking for these guys to put this thing behind them and go out there and get it popping. Salute to everybody in the chat. Frank Motto, the South was in the house. Salute Frank. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Real talk. The next real talk. Divine shot powers. We get the popping up ahead, man. We got these guys going on in Chicago tonight. I'm really looking forward to this game, man. See how they respond, shot power. I want to see how the Knicks respond tonight. The whole team. I want to see how they respond tonight. I want to see how the bench respond. We got to see a campaign respond. We want to see if Pressure the Chua respond tonight. Like I said, I want to see our starters knock down some 3-ball shots tonight because, like I said, you scored 66 points, and that's pretty good. Not to have a good 3-ball pocket. So let's hope they get it popping tonight, man, and get us to 25-11. And we still good to go, my man.
Yeah, tonight's like we talked about. This is going to be an interesting game to watch because of what took place last night, and I think the Knicks are ready for it. They pretty good with bounce back games this year. You know what I mean? They bounce back over games they lost, so they do pretty well. And I think that even with the short limited time that they probably had to travel last night, and get over there and do all that other stuff, I think they're still going to have a good game. You know what I mean? And I think that the Knicks are going to go out and play a different. This is not OKC tonight. This is not OKC, and their defense is not the same as OKC. Their defense is a little lower in the echelons of the East right now. They're no number 1, number 2 in the league. I think they're 23, 22 somewhere. Lower echelons. I mean, upper lower echelons in the league. So we have to impose our will. I mean, and we like I said earlier, we're not hitting 3-point shots like we have been shooting collectively. But this is not the OKC team that we're going to be playing tonight. And I think we'll take some shots and we'll make some shots. I don't think Mikel's going to have a 4 for 11 or something like that again. I mean, I think we'll get some more open shots from Josh Hart and Shamuth and Payne tonight. You know what I mean? A little easier than what OKC was putting on us last night. You know what I mean? And even with the stuff that I'm saying about OKC, their defense, we still were in the game last night. I got to keep reiterating that because it made me feel better. But we were down 3 points. We had given up the lead, but we kept fighting back. And 2 minutes left, we were down 3 points. You know what I mean? So we lost the game, but we didn't do as we usually do is come back and play. Their defense was super incredible last night in that fourth quarter, man. I'm gonna keep saying that. But tonight is a whole different animal, a whole different team, and I think that we'll fare a little better against this team, just hopefully because of the lack of their defensive presence and their offensive continuity is not as the same caliber of what we played last night.
Yeah, real talk. Hey, Frank, I'll answer that question for you before we get out of here and everything like that once we finish breaking this down. But I definitely answer that question to the best of my knowledge because I do think that real quick, Frank, I think we need at least a small forward who might have a little more size and get buckets and play both sides of the ball. Who it may be, I don't know. But I do think we need a small forward on that bench, maybe like 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", who can play both sides of the ball. Because like I said, if without Deuce there and Campaign not having a good game, that's tough. But we need a scoring dude down there. But not only he to score, but y'all got to be able to play defense as well. Frank Matos, I'm pretty much there with that. And get another score and hope Mitch come back. If we can get a good solid size 3 and Mitch come back, Frank, I think we may be all right if that makes any sense to you guys. Real talk. But shot tonight, man, I'm gonna go to see the Cats do the damn thing. Just cross T's and dot I's, play for 48 minutes, go hard, try to get the last game out of your mind, and just play Nick basketball. This is only the 35th or 30. This will be the 36th game of the season. And we still got what 56 to go. Am I right? I'm at 46 to go, excuse me. Still got 46 games to go. And we just gotta be thankful that we are what we are at this time, Shot Power. So I'm not mad at anything. There's a lot of teams which they were at where we were at, like teams like Philly, teams like Milwaukee, teams like a lot of teams that's below us that wish they were where we at number 3 in the Eastern Conference. So I'm not tripping. I mean, we just got to get better, and play for 48 minutes on nights like this here. And it's a living lesson. But the only thing that I can do is make you more stronger. But it don't make you weak, make you stronger, Shot Powers. And I do think that you just got to grow from it. Grow from it and get back at it. So tonight is where we started at, man. Let me bring in Jay Choder. Jay Choder about to run out the building because you think we forgot about him. So let's let him get in here and do his thing. Jay Choder, what's good, my man? What's popping?
What's good? Now I wasn't running out the building to forget about me. I was hungry and my daughter don't feel well.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead and do your thing.
As soon as I wrote it, I see you throw it up there, and I was like, "Did he think I was temperamental?" Anyway, look, I'm not a happy camper. You know what I'm saying? It pissed me off. Look, you're a Knicks fan, right? We're Knicks fans, man. We had that game in hand. I know we're supposed to be talking about, but you know what? This is a mixed bag show. You gotta recap from one game and intro for a new game. So, like, I'm gonna touch on the last game real quick. That first half, when we were hit, I hit you. I was like, "Yo, bro, that first half we looked smoking," but like when he didn't take out, when OG went up for that yam and he didn't get the foul call on that, he should have took him out a little bit and put Precious in for a little while. I really think that game had, and I never really do this. I'm a Tibbs guy, but I think Tibbs kind of blew that game a little bit. Your man Towns had about a half-foot advantage almost over the guy sticking him. Why wasn't he fed the rock? He should have been fed the rock. Like,
I agree with that.
Like
but what
I
they
was making spaghetti.
do with Tibbs, though? But what they got to do with Tibbs? Tibbs ain't on the court dribbling the basketball. That's Jalen.
But if you let me finish, that was my fault. I bipolared that comment. I'm all over right now because I'm just all right. I got you. This is what had to do with Tibbs when he didn't put in Precious for nothing but 7 minutes. All right, when they are athletic and they got a great defense, and we need to battle with them, and the only person on our bench that size that's pretty adequate, Sims is a body. Precious is adequate. He wants OG a little breather. Our top 5 guys have 40-plus minutes on a back-to-back. And you only do 7 minutes per each person. 7 minutes per each person. We didn't lose to a better team. We have a better starting. Listen, we lost to a deeper team. Our starting 5 is better. If you don't see that, we held them the entire game. We couldn't hold them any longer because we weren't deep as they were. Wiggins is the one who was hitting the shots. Wiggins ain't on that starting 5. Isaiah Joe was doing his thing. He wasn't on that starting 5. Shannon was in there for 14 minutes, got 2 points. So the part that's on Tibbs is the fact that he didn't get Precious in enough to match with bodies. The other part is that they should have been feeding the hell out of Cat. just feeding and feeding and feeding and feeding down low. Because that first half was in hand, man. How excited was we in that first half? So hyped. I feel like they ran out of gas, and and the bench showed it, and that's what was on Tibbs.
Yeah,
Why
real quick.
2 minutes.
I think the Knicks lost the game, ladies and gentlemen, because they shot 28% from downtown and 70% from the charity stripe, and their defense didn't play well. That's where they lost the game, man. I don't care who you would have put in that game. You shoot 28% from downtown. You shot 32 times, only hit 9 of them. That's where you lost the game at.
Why are they shooting downtown like that?
No, because you can't always shoot good every night. Nobody gonna NBA gonna shoot good every night. Nobody gonna do that. I don't care who you are. You never. That's the hardest shot in the NBA. That's the most high, the low percentage shot in the NBA is the 3-point shot. The low percentage shot, the easiest shot to make is the dunk. The higher percentage. They in the last. See, here's the difference. In the game against Washington, they did the same thing, but Washington is not OKC.
OKC's a beast. Don't get me wrong. I'm not downplaying who we played.
No. I'm not even talking about what you said. It's not even about you. It's not about you. I'm just speaking in general. I'm speaking in general. What I'm trying to say is that I think the reason why we lost the game is we shot 28%. We shot 70% because here's what you do against good teams. We came out in the second quarter. I mean, the first half shot powers. What do good teams do? Just like the Knicks do. They make adjustments. When the Knicks threw up 66 points in that first half, what do you think Doug not win that second in that locker room and said? Take away this, take away that. He doing this, he doing that. You need to stop this, you need to stop that. That's called adjustments. And that happens, even that we do that. When sometimes when we go in the first half down, what Tibbs do in the second half, shot powers, we need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this, you need to do that. If you do that, we get back in the game. And that's what happened, man. We wasn't expecting Knicks to blow these dudes out. That's insane. That's why I even said last night, forget all these 132 scores. Everybody's talking about that ain't gonna happen. It's the number one defense team in the league. How you gonna that wasn't gonna happen? And they got a good offense. So they bench is deeper than ours last night. They went 10 deep. I'm gonna leave it. I don't want to get too much of that, but Jay, I agree to a lot of stuff.
What was the final score?
117 to 107.
And that was interesting because somebody said we were gonna win 117-104 at the end, and it caught my attention. Remember that?
Yeah, and, I had 115, 108. So I'm like,
I had some gaudy shit like 188 to 156. But anyway,
forget what you're doing about this tonight, man.
Anyway, look. I don't care what anybody. You could disagree, this whatever. I think that we have an extremely weak bench. That's it. I'm gonna go forward. Right, I think we have an extremely weak bench, and until we have proven otherwise, we'll see it. But we have probably the best starting five in all of basketball. All right, tonight I'm gonna tell you something right now. Like we said earlier, this is I'm with you on the revenge tour. I'm with you on this. This team is no slouch. This team is in. You ever heard that whole thing? If the season ends today, they're in. You know that whole thing. That's where they are right now. They are on the precipice right now. They are in the playoffs as we speak. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. You don't want to sleep on them. We lost last time on some whatever crap. We should have had that game as well. Tonight, I really believe that that they can't play these consecutive minutes as much, and that they're going to mix it up. That the team's going to mix it up a little bit more. But I do expect Cat to have a huge night tonight. A huge night. I don't know why I feel it. I feel him having a huge night tonight. But I know that he was iffy on playing. Did we have an update on what's going on with Cat?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, I haven't had any update on that because they put up there for that. And Anunoby, the one was my major concern. I thought, but see tonight you might not see Anunoby because when he fell down last night, it don't hurt that day. It hurt the next day.
And that's right.
The next day, that's when that shit hurt. You know what I mean? So like we'll see. But Shaw Powers, you know what? For me, listen, you can't win them all, and I don't think. But when I say the bench is weak, it's because they don't have the bodies there. Like last night, we was weak because Deuce McBride was there. I'm not talking about they weak because they're not talented for me. It's just that without Deuce McBride last night, Campaign didn't have a good game, but we got to give Campaign credit. He had some good games, but they didn't show up last night. That's all. I mean, and it is what it is. I mean, listen, Knicks 24-11, ladies and gentlemen. They don't need to jump off the belt, out the window. You know what I mean? They lost to the best team in the league last night. What the hell you want me to tell you? And they're going to lose some more games. And they're going to lose some more. Knicks ain't going to win every game, and every other team ain't going to win every game. And last night, if you look at anybody in the NBA and anybody in the NBA world, they expected OKC to beat the Knicks at home on their home floor because they're the best team in the league right now. That's what they expected the game to go that way. So just because the Knicks lost to these guys, that's what all the procrastinators and all of the bettors and everybody, they got a better team right now because they deeper than we are, they more healthy than we are, and they loaded and they've been there, they doing it there. You got to give them their credit. They are the number one team in the West. So what do you expect us to happen last night? We can't beat every damn team. I just wanted to win and let people know that we that real too. But I still think we that real by the way we played. We just didn't finish the job last night. But obviously, no Deuce McBride. Campaign didn't come to the floor last night. He had a terrible game. And like I said, I don't care who you put out. You could put out Tyler Kolek out there. You could have put any Nick in that uniform out there. They wasn't beating them dudes last night because them dudes, they played their game in the second half. You think Tyler Kolek going to stop my man SGA or Kendrick Will was bully balling them dudes last night. Bully balling and shit out there. He a guard. You think them dudes going to do better than Anunoby and Brunson and all that? No, hell no. Now, you talking about a stamina standpoint? Okay, I get all that. But not last night. You played the best team in the league last night, the best team in the league in the West, and you lost to them. Tip your hat to them and move on to the next game, Shop Power. That's the way it go down.
I tip my hat, but I disagree. I tip my hat.
Well, I guess they don't disagree because they won the game. So go ahead, Shop Power.
They definitely don't disagree. They definitely don't.
We gotta get ready to wrap it up anyway and stuff. So let's finish this thing out because it's already 1 hour. We came on at 7, so they're on now. So Jay, what's your give us your score, Jay?
I'm gonna go 1,000. All right. So tonight, you know what? I'm gonna go 117, 104.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go 117, 107. Knicks.
Yeah, hey, no, Stan, don't worry, Stan. We ain't turning on each other, man. I appreciate that, though. Nah, man,
never. This has nothing to do with me and them. We talk.
It's just different thoughts and philosophies about the way the game went. You know what I mean? That's all it is. Ain't nobody right and wrong here. I'm just trying to print all the variables out. That's what I try to do. But like for me, Shop Powers, I got the Knicks bouncing back real well tonight. This team is not a good defensive-minded team over there. I think we should have a better outing tonight. I'm going to go 118, 105 tonight. I think we bounce back on the offense side of the ball, maybe knock down some three-point shots. Like I said, shooting 28 from downtown is not going to get it no matter who you're playing. Hopefully we don't shoot 28 from downtown tonight. Hopefully we shoot a little better in the 30s instead of shooting 70% from the charge rate. Hopefully we shoot 79. You know what I mean? And that means that could be an extra. Because think about it real quick. Shop out. We would have shot the 37% last night. You know how many 3 points that would have been? How many points that would have been? If we shot 28%. We shooting 39 for the season. So if you would have hit 5 more 3-pointers, that's what, 15 points? That's why
the 6 turnovers that we had between the 3rd and the 4th at the end.
Yeah, real talk. It was a lot of things that went in that game. That's crazy, man. But hey, we lost. Give me your thoughts. We getting out of here, ladies and gentlemen.
Control the pace, grab your rebounds, and hit your free throws. You already know what it is. Shoot over 36% for 3-point land. And again, my new variable is 28 assists a game. This team is not a team to sleep on, but this is the revenge tour game, and I want revenge tonight. They beat us by some humble shot last time with 1 point, and Cat had a real good game, and we shot bad at the free throw land the last time. So I want us to get out there and perform tonight. On to the next. That's how we always say. So I got the team also with a kind of a roundabout game. I think we're going to do 119 to 110. 119 to 110. Let's get it.
I like why. That's a wise chat right there. I'm glad you put that up there. Our roots can do nothing with OKC. We have a realistic member of the song, Imaginary Players. I don't care who you put in that game last night. You wasn't fucking with SGA and them boys last night. They were bully balling this shit out these dudes. So if they could bully ball Mikael Bridges, they could bully ball Anunoby. How the hell you think they gonna do against a 5'11" Tyler Cole? They run them over all night. That was just a damn good team played a good game, came out in the second half and blitzed us, and that was it. They just blitzed us and we couldn't respond. And they say knocking down them shots, ladies and gentlemen. We couldn't do nothing about it. So they just was on. And like I said, we got to shoot better tonight. We're going to shoot over 35% tonight. We're going to get it popping. So to everybody in the chat, thank y'all for coming in. Jay Choden, shout power the chat. Hit that like and subscribe button for your brothers, man. When we get out of here, man, we see y'all on the recap tomorrow, man. It's all love up in Knicks Real Talk. Y'all know what it is, man. But like I say, when the Knicks lose, it changes the whole dynamic of the way Knicks fans think. When we win, it's all good. But the minute we lose, it changes the dynamic, and that happens. It happens. When it lose, it brings out the worst in everybody. When it brings out the best in everybody. Shit happens. It's all good. Peace.
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 Yo, Divine, what's good? You know what it is, bro. About to go ahead and get with SP. We about to get this Knicks Real Talk pregame popping off. Get this shit popping, man. I'll holla at you one.
Up in the black Silverado, stop and get some petrol to hit the metro on full throttle. Across the gospels, we in the Mecca bottleneck. On 32nd, where the bottle see Sharon flexing. Posted up like sticky note. You can smell the icky in the air like hickory smoke. Carroty, we well represented. We on that Nick shit. You can smell it, so please don't step in it. Cause the burner cooking with gas. The cat in the alley digging through your team trash. Getting that cash ready for the dash and make a splash. But they moving slow before the pregame show. No cash, so here's what's on tap. But God, no talking five. And report, keep my boo in the chat. Interacting with your man, them. It's a brand in front of the camera. There's a picture. Catch and snap back to fit the cat, so we Nick dripping. It's real, you know we fit the description. It's the OG, Olan, Ananobi. Me and my man Brody, we run your fire TV, that's Cody.
It's Knicks Real Talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick drip, dripping the Nick drip. It's Knicks Real Talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick drip, dripping the Nick drip. We in that Nick drip, dripping the Nick drip. It's Knicks Real Talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick drip, dripping the Nick drip. Real Talk.